2-2. Social circles. You are listening at FameTV.info. In the second season since his debut, Opal, who thought it would surely be something fun, had returned to the territory disappointed. Instead of going down in flames, Opal had become a perfectly easy-going woman. I went out for a morning walk with someone who seemed like this man a few times, or even went out on the balcony alone and tried to kiss him. But as in the case of the Viscount/'s second son, he refused more than that because he was disgusted, but the men who had hurt his pride spoke of something that never happened. Then the man who thought he wasn't/t the only one he was dealing with touches further that this was what he was when he was. And when he realized, Opal had been affixed with a red tell called Seriously Mundane, which was in unmarried women, and he was quickly finishing his third year of season. Looks like you should give up your marriage now. I/d rather live freely than marry someone I don't/t even like and be eaten up for nothing. At the end of his 18-year-old season, Opal gave up his dream of building a warm family. Opal is to have a smaller territory and enough wealth to inherit than her already deceased maternal grandmother, Olga Kensett, if she turns 20. The condition that this legacy belonged to Opal was unchanged in marriage, and I somehow guessed it in my grandmother/'s heart at the time. Because my mother told me that my maternal grandfather was very strict and that he was the kind of person who always had the whip. When Opal returned to the consulate, he put more effort into studying this year than playing. He begged Trevor, the territorial administrator, Orton, the butler, and Marcia, the housekeeper, to teach him, to go around about them, and to learn more about this and how to cut through the territory operations and the mansion. Claude came back from college on the way, but opened his mouth quite dissatisfied to see such an Opal. Hey, Opal. What are you gonna do with all that studying? It/s supposed to be a man/s job, ISN/t it. Instead, you can hire both administrators and butlers, so there/s no need for Opal to study, is there? Alas, you/re also thinking that women should just shut up and do the house thing. I/am disappointed. I/am not getting married anymore, so I/am going to live in the land my grandmother left me when I turned 20. That/s why I want you to know about the street. How come you/re not going to marry me? Didn't/t you hear Claude? My terrible rumors. But you don't/t know we/re still friends like this. Fool, you are. That/s what I/am asking. Even a man/s quarters don't/t come in with information. But because I/am a friend, I know Opal isn/t such a rumored woman. All the people who live around here do. I/v known you since you were little. Thanks, Claude. Claude/s words seemed delightful and tearful, but Opal managed to contain them. Opal doesn't/t cry from time to time. When I fell out of a tree and broke my arm bones, even when the pony I loved died. My mother said it to me. Don't/t cry, my sweetie. Please laugh /. So I desperately embraced the tears that flowed down at that time and made him laugh with his snotty face. Then my mother slowly lifted her cheeks and laughed back. I shouldn't/t have had that much power left either. That/s why Opal had decided not to cry more than that day when he was 10. If you/re eating your teeth off and laughing forward, they/ll all laugh back one day. In fact, everyone in the realm laughs back. I don't/t care what people in the social world say. When the coming season was over, Opal was going to move into the house my grandmother left me. I still have nearly 2 years until I/am 20, but I one/t have a choice because I/v had 3 social seasons and can/t even find someone to marry. The heritage trustee was a very sweet man, and he either knew about the Opal rumors or accepted this suggestion. On the condition, of course, that I leave the management of the land to the administrator of my choice for a few years, as always. Because of that, Opal /S heart was light for his fourth season. Again this time, I can laugh at being surrounded by just conceited men called prodigals, men for property, and ladies who only make nasty rumors. It had been a long time since I had danced only once, and I had eyes on the Duke I was attracted to, but I was fine when I was stared at. Since that incident with him, he has been ignored without even being greeted face-to-face. Like it /S not worth talking about. It /S rude, but the Duke is in a position to allow it. By the end of the season in a few days, Opal had packed early. Once we get back to the consulate, we move to the little house my new grandmother left us. Everyone at the consulate was lonely because they had told him that before he came out to the King /S capital, but he included saying that if he had a day in the carriage, he would be back. All you have to do is attend a small concert held at a certain Viscount /S house, and the Opal season ends. Opal looked out at the other dresses he chose for tonight and lined up in the closet. It /S all I don /T need at the end of this season, and I am going to leave it in this mansion. I /V already packed it in my bag because I /LL still needs some quiet design stuff. It /S finally over. Yes, when Opal thought about it, the butler came to the room. My husband is waiting for you in his study, your father. Yes, I told you to come soon. Okay, it wasn't /T until the morning after that incident that I was summoned to my father /S study. I /V been left alone ever since, so I thought Opal didn't /T really care, but I have a bad feeling he /S called in again like this. Still unable to escape, and of course not intending to, Opal stood in front of the study with dignity and knocked on the door. Get in. With nothing to do, Opal, who was allowed to enter the room, gently opened the door and stepped into the study. As usual, his father /S desk is stacked with documents in a mess, and his busy schedule can be seen. And despite his call, his father was spelling out some paperwork without even raising his face. Father, what can I do for you? Without waiting, Opal inquired. His father looked up in displeasure. And I sigh loudly, putting down the fountain pen I had. It /S nothing ladylike, it /S not something my husband opens his mouth until he says something first. It /S also my fault that I couldn't /T do it properly. Looks like I let you go too free, Opal. I am sorry, father. But get ready for tonight. Shut up. Fathers don /T yell, but they don /T listen to their families. Opal hated that very much. Opal wondered if his brother wouldn't /T come home from college because he didn't /T want to look at this father. In a fed-up mood, Opal mumbled his apologetic words. My father laughs at me as soon as he gets in a good mood. I convinced Opal that the smile was still hitting a bad feeling. Opal, joy. Your marriage has finally been decided. Yes. That /S pretty good too. It was worth the wait for 3 years. Without that commotion, we would have been able to put it together 3 years ago. It /S a fringe. I don /T know how much you /re hurt, but I didn't /T mean to do you to that kid or that wealth-seeking piece of crap. Father, marriage, etc. Already, I have a contract with the other party. Earlier, I was contacted that I also got a marriage permit. The day after tomorrow, you will have a ceremony. Opal could not contest that it had already become final. I get busy working my head off, but soon I realize that there /S nothing I can do to make an Opal who doesn't /T turn 20 to escape this marriage. Until now, his father had set Opal free because he was after that superb. For 3 years, Opal /S father would have waited until he could get into that opponent /S weakness. What the hell kind of terrible person is he? Hurt by what was said to be an injury again, he wondered if divorce would be possible at the age of 20. So, I wonder if I have to give that disgusting kiss. Father, so. What are you dealing with? Did you finally ask? If you ask me your name, you might thank this father. Hubert MacLeod will be your bridegroom. The Duke of MacLeod. MacLeod, Duke. Opal, who heard his name, was dizzy and about to fall. The Duke of MacLeod is the opponent who danced only once 3 years ago. Opal was the only one attracted to me, ignored me after the incident, and was the only one who was scorned the other day. Why? More so than the Duke. The Duke of MacLeod lost his parents early and succeeded to the Duke position young. It is inexperienced and too sweet. 3 years ago, something could still have been done. I guess I just couldn't get help from the high pride around me. Now he losing his neck because of debt. So instead of selling my ancestral lands, I decided to sell myself. Did the Duke agree to marry me for debt? Oh, it took me a lot of patience just watching him fall so far without doing anything. But it's important to wait to invest. Investment. Think about it. The Duke, right? As the stepfather of the Duke, as the outgoing grandfather of the future Duke, I broaden the scope of my work. Look, Opal. Until now, I let you go free, but from now on, be careful. And work with the Duke on the problem. That LL be interesting again, too. It is also uncertain whether he replied to his father S words. It was just that Opal, when he left the study fluttered and went back to his room, was flabbergasted until the samurai spoke to him. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.